Hello. You know how long it took me to actually get on top of one of these things? I am, of course, in Trafalgar Square, and there's a whole frickin' acreage of people thrusting their children up on top of these lions. I don't know whether or not you can see the time from here, but Big Ben is down there, and at the moment there's lots of flashing lights. It is frickin' chaotic in central London today. Can you see this big round thing? This roundabout is completely surrounded by barriers. Of course, up this road, Margaret Thatcher's funeral procession is going to take place. It's going to go around this corner and then off down the Strand past Charing Cross railway station. Now, the episode I made about the party that never happened. The party that never happened. I want to add to what I said. Because after doing a little bit of research, of course, it turned out that the party did in fact happen. The party did happen. I read a Guardian article about this so-called riot/party that said 3,000 people attended, and I thought, hang on a minute, 3,000 people? So I started looking it up, and I found quite a few videos, of course, of what happened after it, well, when it started to get dark, once the rain had really started. I guess it must have been 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30, when essentially what happened in Trafalgar Square was some kind of ritual sacrifice. It was very strange. An effigy of Margaret Thatcher was brought by some of the people that came down here. They beheaded her. They had a fake heart filled with red liquid, and they thrust a spike through it, and they all were shouting, screaming, sort of with all this sort of red liquid everywhere. It was really quite terrifying. But there were not 3,000 people there. You can watch the videos, look up the videos. There are not 3,000 people. There are approximately 500, 600 people, and if you watch some of the videos, it's quite curious because you hear a lot of the people essentially saying, "Oh, excuse me, sir, I work for such and such newspaper, can I interview you?" There was lots of reporters mingling with the crowd. Were they counting those people? If you watch the furore that happened around the ritual execution of a dummy that looked like Margaret Thatcher, this strange blood sacrifice that they did, all you can see is essentially very expensive cameras pointing over everybody's shoulders. A lot of those 500 or 600 people that were in Trafalgar Square surrounding, making up that crowd, a lot of them were photographers and a lot of them were journalists. And in fact, on one of the videos you can see a skirmish happening sort of over there on the far side near the National Gallery, a skirmish with the police, and you can quite clearly hear somebody saying, "You can't stop me, I work for ITN," which is a television news channel. So, bit weird what happened with that party. It did seem to happen. There were quite a few people here. I think the amount of protesters there were probably ran up to about 100. Yet the Guardian says that there were 3,000. I don't really understand why the newspapers feel like they need to exaggerate about how many so-called anarchists there are who want to celebrate Margaret Thatcher's death, and why they did some kind of pagan blood ritual with a great big spike sticking it through, beheading her, and shouting and sort of celebrating the letting of blood. That's not natural. I just wanted to let you know.